Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farm, and today is going to be a property maintenance day. And that's going to include several different things. We're going to have a bonfire, I'm going to be spraying weeds, might do a little bit of mowing, brush cutting, something like that, not sure yet. But a big one for me is the liquid weed eater in the spray bottle here. And you know, I've been thinking I really need to get a big sprayer because I have a lot of areas that I like to spray. And I thought I need a big sprayer that goes in the side-by-side, a pull behind, something that mounts on the tractor, something like that to make it easy and convenient. But, you know, my last video I was talking about staying active, staying in shape, losing the weight back, and couple people made the comment, you know, all of the equipment that you're showing in all your videos makes all the work lazy or easy, or it doesn't take any, you don't have to sweat to get a job done. And that's good and it's bad. Overall, I'm going to choose to try to be efficient in what I do. But like this, if I spend the next 3 or 4 hours walking around with this sprayer, carrying it instead of riding in the side-by-side, it is good for me. But it's also really slow for a guy who's got a lot of messes that he needs to clean up and a lot of projects I need to work on. Got a big freight delivery coming soon, so I'm going to spray this area, then I need to go up by the house and watch for that freight. That'll be the next video showing you what I got on that freight delivery. So years ago, I was given by a local company, gave me a bunch of Roundup type product, but it's like a generic Roundup, and that's what I'm using. But as I opened up this bottle, I noticed it expired like 18 months ago. And I thought, well, I don't want to use an expired product. Who knows, maybe I'll waste all my time spraying and it won't work. And then I drove to Tractor Supply, and a gallon, the big bottle of this concentrate, it's $100. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money to spend when I've got some at the house. So I'm going to find out if expired spray still works. So the idea here is, for this area, I want to refresh this by bringing the box blade down here, drag it, loosen it up, maybe add another layer of stone. And I'm planning to do all of that, but I don't want to do it with this live grass here because that's really just going to encourage it to grow through again. If I'm just stirring these seeds, these green seeds into the rock. And I know this isn't a pre-emergent, so it might still happen anyway. But also, once I get a roof on this, it'll slow that down some. So how many of you guys do a lot of spraying for weeds on your property? My buddy Brad at Piney Grove seems to just enjoy weed eating, but obviously the truth is he just enjoys having a property that looks clean and manicured, so he's willing to do the work. But man, it feels like he just enjoys weed eating. I hate it. I hate it because it's so temporary. You weed eat today, gives you the privilege that you get to weed eat again next week. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting today, but I will tell you that it has its own engine. So we know it's not a tractor attachment. It's got its own engine, and I got it for some big projects I've been wanting to do all summer. And this is going to help me get those projects done. So among those projects, I'm going to drain one side of the pond and fix my island. Maybe make that side of the pond a little bigger, a little wider, a little deeper. Something you guys have been waiting to see a long time. I'm finally going to get that done this fall. Finishing out the trail is another one that I definitely want to get done. And for that, I'm going to do a bunch of borrow pits. I don't know how familiar you guys are with borrow pits. I also want to set up a process for selling sandstone. A lot of listings around me, not a lot, but there's a few people who have sandstone for sale. And I've got so much of it laying around. I'm going to try to turn that into, you know, a small profit margin. That pond is going to be the biggest thing. I'm planning to put a lot of time into that pond, reshaping it, fixing the back bank again. You know, it's held up, it's not leaking, but it could use some improvement to make it easier to maintain. Another project is getting the equipment shed back in shape, and I need to redo some of those shelves in there. I built the shelves to fit my attachments for the John Deere tractor, and these attachments don't fit those shelves very well. So I need to get that cleaned up and organized and get all of my equipment stored back into the shed. I've also got some more paid tractor work coming up this summer. You know, I've been really slow on publishing videos lately, and I mentioned that in the last video, and there's a few reasons for it, but one of them is we just took a little miniature vacation this week, took the grandkids, and we didn't go far, but we just spent a few days with the grandkids doing fun stuff. And then my daughter's been moving into her college, and so I've been helping her move, delivering furniture. We went and bought her groceries and a little mini fridge and toaster and stuff like that. So had a lot going on, but man, the weather is beautiful right now, and it's time to get into some of these projects I've been wanting to get done. This equipment shed used to be kind of one of my pride and joys on the YouTube channel because I did such a good job of organizing everything in here to store all my tractor attachments. Then over time, there were some changes that got made, and I made a decision to store some stuff out here that never should have been out here. And I've cleared all that out, and I'm ready to retake my equipment shed because this is a bad idea. This is my nice, expensive equipment setting out here in the weeds, and here's an empty building. No excuse for it, but we're going to clean it up and deal with it. So let me show you where we're at right now. Got under shelf storage over here for some big stuff, like I can put the brush cutter or the stump grinder under there. Then these shelves are for front end attachments. So like I could put my bucket right there and pallet forks up here, stuff like that. And to do that, I've just got some little stuff here that needs moved, and you know, like these mini skid steer attachments, they can go on the shelves. Then I've got another attachment here that I'm gonna be running in one of the next couple videos I make. And this can get out of here, but like a permanent storage location for that might be under here if it'll fit, or under here. Then like this can stay here. My fuel storage can stay here. I just need to move some of this stuff out of the way. Like this is, like these are junk pallets and some leftover packaging material that need taken down and put in the bonfire. This stack of stuff was literally put here because I said I want to burn this stuff, but it wasn't a good day for a fire. So I need to drag all of that out, cut all of this, and just start filling this thing with attachments. This is all of the miniature skid steer attachments I have. This is the Artilian mounting plate that lets me use a few different things on the mini skid. Right now it's just got the 3-point attachment mover plate on it, but you can put different things on there. Then we've got pallet forks. We've got a stump grinder, an auger, a grapple, and the bucket. And then I'm going to keep the machine parked right here all the time. So basically, none of this stuff's ever going to get blocked in where I have to move something else to get to it. Because if I want one of these things, I'll be using this machine. And the stump grinder and the auger don't get used that much. The other stuff will be easy to access. And actually, I might want to switch it because I use the pallet forks so much and they'll be hard to reach from there. So I'll probably set the pallet forks down here and put something else up there. Maybe put the stump grinder up there and switch those. Okay, same story here. Cut it down short. See if I can kill it off. Actually, off camera, between when you saw me spraying in the woodshed and starting up here, I spent like 3 hours running this sprayer. I filled it probably at least 10 times because I've got a lot of areas like this that are overgrown, and I just need to do a better job of not letting it get like this. But today we are where we are. I'm guessing it'll take 2 full spray bottles just to do this area here. And then I'll give it another week to dry out or to die off. And then I'll come back through with the box blade and kind of reshuffle all this and see how much rock I need. You know, when I bought this property, none of this had rock here. And I spent a lot of money hauling in rock and covering all this, because the first time I tried to put anything in this shed, it was during the rainy season, before I even had a YouTube channel, before anything. This shed was sitting here, and I thought, well, I'll park all my trailers in there. I didn't even own a tractor yet, but I owned a couple trailers, and I was trying to pull my trailer in here, and the truck got stuck down there trying to back the trailer up this hill. Thought all this needs to be rock. Well, I spent all that money on rock, but I don't know if I didn't get it deep enough or if I just needed to come out here and spray as soon as I saw weeds or what, but I screwed up and let all this grow over. Okay, I'm gonna spray the entire, everywhere I see green inside the building and in front of the building, and I'll be right back. The pallet I just pulled out of this spot is now going to be the kindling for starting up my brush fire. And I've got a lot of material to move down there, but I'm going to start with things that use the pallet forks before putting a grapple on the tractor. I mentioned earlier I was waiting on some freight. It was actually a miniature dump truck, and I ended up having to go get it, so I lost some time there. The freight that I said I was waiting on was the miniature dump truck that you saw in the last video, and if you didn't see that video, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. I'm going to put a ton of hours on that in the future, and I'll have more videos, but I got to stop and play with a neat piece of equipment. But for right now, we're going to jump in the tractor, go down to the burn hole. The burn hole is all overgrown, so I'm going to throw that pallet in there. Then I'm going to take the brush cutter, and there's a lot of rock around there where it's not going to be easy to cut the grass, but I need to do a little bit of cutting around it, and then we'll get started. I'm guessing I'm gonna need some accelerant, but we'll give it a try with what I've got. Some of this stuff's pretty dry, and I can bring that back on a future trip. I'm gonna be making a lot of trips down here, and it's a pretty decent drive from the house down to here, so it's gonna be time consuming building this up. I don't burn trash. Even though I grew up, we didn't have trash service. We burned our trash all the time when I was a kid. But we don't do that now. I don't burn trash. But you'll notice there were a few things in this pile that were not brush or scrap wood. And to that I say only a Sith deals in absolutes. Seems like a good day for a fire. All this stuff around here is green, so if it tries to get out, it won't do it quickly. And it's not windy, so should be a good day for it. What do you think? If I come back in 15 minutes, will this have smoldered out, or am I gonna have a bonfire? Like this wood here, it's split and it's bowed, and I decided not to keep it, but it's been drying for 2 years since I milled it. Now, you guys who follow the channel will remember this spot, that was the stump. I did all the videos about burning that stump out. I dug the pit around it and then burned it several times, and now it's probably 10 or 12 inches below grade, but it's not completely gone, but it's burned down. And there's another tree stump I threw in this pile. I got some more tree stumps up at the house to bring down here and throw in. And whenever I dug this out, the way I kept the fire from spreading was I took all the material I dug out of here and spread it in a circle around it, so there was no plant material close by for it to get out with. But doing that was fine if I came back afterwards and shoved all that in, but I didn't. So now the result is I made myself a minefield with all these rocks. Just another dumb thing I did by not finishing off a project. If I come back down here a month later and filled this in, it wouldn't have been a problem. But we'll do it this time. We're gonna burn and burn down here, burn up all the stuff I've got piled around, and then we will fill it in. Looks like maybe it's gonna take off. Better go get some more fuel for it. So the next pile I've got of scrap is this right here. This is all leftovers from shipping crates. And this is really low quality wood that's not worth reusing. But I think this is worth saving, and maybe that pallet might be worth saving. So I'll dig those out, but otherwise I'm gonna get the grapple on and just carry everything down. I'm using my favorite grapple I've ever had, which is this Easton-made grapple. Super heavy built, really strong clamping power, long bottom jaw, so it's good for brush piles and it's good for logs. I really like this thing. I love this grapple because it clamps so hard that if you get the grapple on something, you've got it. And not all grapples are like that. And it opens so wide. I should have recorded picking this up because every bit of what was left on the ground I got scooped up in one grab here. So much material. I'm way offset to the side of the fire to try to get the fire to spread over here and not melt my grapple. Kind of hard to do one-handed because I'm holding the camera. I don't have a great place to clamp it. That should spread around pretty good, I think. Once that big log through the middle, I tried to cut that log up for firewood and it's all junk. But once it gets burning, it ought to be good. All right, well, it's been a good day. Fire's still burning hot. I made a lot of progress. None of these cleanup efforts are complete, but they're all better than they were when I started the day. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.